Hi everyone, and welcome to my new series about writing a new musical. The working title I have come up with is Heather and Stone. I want to write and tell the story about the Highland clearances. So I'm going to use this channel to show the entire journey, from developing and researching the idea through to its completion. Now, I know I have started a series like this before with the Glencoe musical, but I promise that this time I will keep up with this one. I've got much more structure to the series this time. The last time it just kind of fell apart. I was jumping all over the place. So, to help develop and write this musical, I'm using this amazing book. It's called The Ultimate Musical Writer's Planner by Holly Reid. It's a great book that keeps you focused, which is where I kind of went off the rails with the Glencoe musical last time. There was no structure to what I was doing, and I was just jumping all over the place. I was writing lyrics at 1 minute, and then I was working on the script the next minute. That just isn't how you do it. There needs to be a clear, logical process to this. So this book is helping me stay nice and organized and focused on one job at a time. So there are 4 main areas to work on, and these are the steps that I'm going to be following when I'm writing my musical. So from the beginning, there needs to be a story structure. This will be the preparing and researching my vision for the show. So this means looking at my favourite musicals and analysing what I like about them, why do I like them, and that will help me decide what I want my show to look like, what I want the audience to feel when they leave, all these things. Then I'll move on to character development. Who are my characters? What are their skills and strengths? What are their flaws? What's their journey? All these things. Then we move on to the script writing and song spotting. And then finally we write the songs, the lyrics, put the score together. And then from there it moves on to the promoting, social media, table readings, all those sorts of things. But we'll worry about that if or when we ever get to that stage. So let's get started. So some of my favourite musicals are Wicked, Rent, The Colour Purple, Everybody's Talking About Jamie, Come From Away, Shrek, Rocky Horror, Beautiful. There are lots more, like Heathers, Matilda, Avenue Q, all these shows. So all of these musicals have common themes, such as outsiders, people who don't conform to societal expectations. Each of these musicals has strong character development and storytelling. The characters go through significant growth and personal journeys throughout the narrative. All of these musicals have memorable, impactful music that drives the plot forward and develops the characters. And they all have a balance of drama and comedy in their storytelling, and they quite often use humour to tackle serious themes. So when I use my taste in musical theatre, when considering what I want mine to be, I want an outsider protagonist at the centre of the story who doesn't quite fit in, is seen as different and challenges societal norms. This could be due to their personal beliefs, their background, their identity, anything like that. I want deep character development, showing how my characters experience growth and transformation. I want to craft a score that isn't just catchy and drives the plot forward. Because I'm looking to adapt a real life event, I want to put my unique spin on the Highland clearances, but I also want to be respectful to the original events. So to appeal to a wider range of audiences, because I'm discussing serious themes, I want to use humour and drama to make them more approachable and relatable, linking them to current societal events. So if we're thinking about the Highland clearances, we're thinking about people being priced out of their local areas and hometowns and cities. So thinking about all these things, there are things I don't want my musical to be. I don't want my musical to have stereotypical or one-dimensional characters. I, I don't want the plot to be predictable or cliched. The score needs to be impactful and the music needs to serve a purpose and not just be placed in the story for the sake of it. Relevant themes need to be explored for the plot and they need to resonate with the audience. I want to avoid excessive use of spectacle with grand sets and choreography. It can be enticing and exciting, but it needs to serve a purpose. And I want to avoid there being a lack of emotional depth. I want my audience to be able to connect with the characters emotionally. And finally, I want to take risks and I want to push boundaries. I don't just want to make something that's safe. It's just there. I want it to be something. So, I enjoy many musicals with a lead character who challenges the status quo. I want the audience to leave feeling like they too can challenge conventions and stand up for what they believe in. I want the audience to feel emotionally moved and having experienced a roller coaster of emotions, feeling connected to the characters and their stories. I want the audience to think about the broader societal issues, the personal relationships and the human condition. I want them to ponder on the themes and the messages of the show. Even with the darker themes I want to tackle, there still needs to be a message of hope, resilience, or the power of the community. I want the audience to feel that they need to reassess some of their beliefs and feel challenged. Beyond the deeper emotional and intellectual impacts at its core, a musical is a form of entertainment. And I want the audience to leave talking about it, humming the tunes, and have enjoyed the experience. And finally, I want them to want more. I want them to go home, listen to the soundtrack, and tell others that they should go and see it. So, here's my mood board. The Highland clearances were a series of evictions in the Scottish Highlands during the 18th and the 19th centuries. There were many tenants who were forced from their homes to make way for sheep pastures. This significant historical event was characterised by the harsh displacement of the Highland population and the subsequent diaspora of Scottish people to other parts of the world. So it's a period filled with emotion, conflict, and deep cultural ramifications. So when I was creating this mood board, I'm thinking about the colours. So we've got deep blues and greens and greys, and we've got the colours of heather, which is a nice lilac-y purple flower. I'm thinking about the actual setting as well. The Highlands can be quite a bleak and harsh environment, but it's also an absolutely spectacularly beautiful place. We're thinking about what emotions is this story going to be telling. So it is a tale of hardship. People were forced from their homes and sent away, and they didn't have anywhere to go. And so they went all over the world. And I'm thinking about the style of music. So it's set in the Highlands of Scotland, so we're thinking, right, we're going to have traditional Scottish music and contemporary Scottish music and this kind of feel. And you start piecing together this mood board, which is going to start guiding the development of the musical. So, when I'm linking that mood board to what I want my audience to feel and the story I want to tell, I want them to feel empowered. So whilst the Highland clearances were a time of displacement and suffering, many Scottish people were forced to leave their homes and found new beginnings in other lands. The story I tell could emphasise the resilience and spirit of the Scottish people, showing audiences that even in the face of adversity, there's power in starting anew and preserving one's culture and traditions. I want them to be emotionally moved, so the clearances were a period of deep sorrow and upheaval. So a musical about this topic would undoubtedly tug on an audience's heartstrings, making them empathise with the pain and struggle of the Highlanders. When we're thinking about reflection, the musical could draw parallels to other instances of displacement, colonisation, or land grabs throughout history, prompting audiences to reflect on the broader themes of power, land, and human rights, to make them feel uplifted. So despite the tragic events, the story could focus on the resilience of the Scottish spirit, the preservation of culture, and the new beginnings found in places like Canada or the USA or Australia. To challenge the audience, a musical would challenge the audience to confront the dark aspects of colonial history, land rights, and the human cost of economic and political change. To make them feel entertained and satisfied, beyond the heavier themes, the musical could incorporate traditional Scottish music, dance, and folklore, creating a captivating and enriching experience for the audience. And the desire for more, given the depth and breadth of this historical event, the musical might spark an interest in audiences to learn more about Scottish history or culture and the lasting impacts of the Highland clearances. So next time, I'm going to start putting together some story ideas to create a plot for the musical. And then I can begin to develop the lead character and their story arc. So let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you next time.